Welcome back everyone, I hope you're all having a great week. If you're new to my channel, my name is Hannah, also known as a tropical plant addict. And today I wanted to do a plant haul for you because I've collected a few things over the last month or so. Where to start? It feels like I'm in a plant shop at the moment. I've picked some plants up from my local garden centre, a few shops online, eBay, and also the Ginger Jungle were having a rare plant sale at the end of April. So I picked up some really exciting plants from them. I picked up a few caladium tubers from a shop called Casa Botanica online, and after adding the caladium tubers to my basket I just had a quick browse and I found a plant that I've been looking for a while and I haven't seen in the UK. So the first plant is the ALOCASIA Black Velvet. Really beautiful plant. I'd never actually seen one in real life before. The leaves feel very thick and leathery, very firm, but it's also got this lovely velvet feel to the outside of the leaves. It's really beautiful, and this little guy was in the post for about 4 days and still arrived looking quite spectacular, and there's also a couple of new leaves popping up. I'll zoom in here so you can see him in his full glory. So I'm currently keeping this ALOCASIA on my east-facing window, which is my kitchen window, where my ALOCASIA amazonica lives, and seems very happy there. He didn't go dormant throughout the winter and he flowered twice last year, plus he's getting a new leaf, so he's pretty happy. So it's quite a good window for my ALOCASIAs. Next up is this really sweet little ALOCASIA BAMBINO, which I bought for my Biorb Air terrarium. If you've been following me on Instagram, you'll see that I took out one of my anthuriums from the Biorb because it outgrew it within 2 months. It was so happy in there, it just grew straight to the roof. So I recently took him out, he's up in my office now, and then I needed to replace the plant with something else. So I thought I'll get something a bit smaller. It'll take quite a while for this one to outgrow the terrarium. He should be really happy in there because he'll be getting 12 hours of bright light a day and high humidity, as the Biorb Air automatically mists around every hour. So it's really good for plants that like high humidity. Next up I have some plants that I bought from one of my local garden centres called the Garden Society. It's a really lovely garden centre, coffee shop and aquatic shop, kind of all in one. So the first plant was this beautiful crocodile fern. The pattern on the leaves is absolutely breathtaking. It just doesn't look real. You can see why it's called crocodile fern, because it really does look like crocodile skin. It's amazing. I really hope I can keep this guy happy. I know that they like really high humidity, and apparently they do best in medium to low light conditions, so I'll see how I go. I'm not the best with ferns, but I'll do my best. I'll keep you updated on how he's doing. The next plant I got is a vanilla planifolia, which is a species of vanilla orchid native to Mexico and Central America. It's a vining orchid that can actually produce flowers, which produce pods, which produces vanilla. Absolutely amazing, because I didn't actually realise that vanilla came from an orchid, to be honest. Apparently it can take a very long time for these guys to become mature and flower. So I'm not expecting flowers anytime soon, and apparently they have to be in ideal conditions for them to flower as well. They need very high humidity and the temperature has to be very warm as well. But even as it is, I think it's a really beautiful vine, and it's just quite unusual really compared to my other orchids. If anyone else grows these orchids, let me know, and if you've got any good tips. This one's also currently on my east-facing kitchen window. Next up we have the Begonia Bonfire. I actually bought this for the garden, but you can grow this as a houseplant as long as it's got a nice bright sunny position. As you can see, it's already started to flower and they're like a beautiful like orangey coral colour. I might actually take a cutting from this and see how it does inside, but as I said, the main plant will be outside in the garden. Be interesting to see how big it gets, but it's really beautiful. The next plant was something that I purchased on eBay around a week ago, so it's a little bit of a gamble as it's coming all the way from Thailand. It hasn't arrived yet, so I'm just going to insert a picture for you so you can see what it is. It's a Philodendron Burle variegata. I've been looking for one of these for a while, but I haven't seen them in any UK stores, so I thought I'm just going to go for it, hope for the best, see how he arrives. Okay, next I've got a lovely plumeria, which is a plant that produces the frangipani flower. I can't quite remember what variety I bought, and to be honest, from reading online it seems that these can be very difficult to get to flower in the UK. You need very warm, sunny conditions for this plant. So what I've been doing is basically following the sun around my house. So if I've got a bit of sun in the kitchen window, he goes there in the morning, then in the afternoon I put him by my patio doors, and then if it's warm enough outside, I've been putting him outside to get full sun. I also bought some special food for this plant as well, but generally they like to stay quite dry, so you don't have to water them very often. I did actually have some flower buds forming on one of these stems, I guess you would call it. And as I brought him over for this video, the flower buds fell off. Here they are. So I don't think he will be flowering this year, but still keeps getting lots of leaves, so that's quite positive, I think. When it arrived, it only had about, I think, 3 or 4 leaves, so you can see it's got quite a few now. But I'll see how it does and I'll keep you posted. So the last couple of plants I bought were from the Ginger Jungle's rare plant sale, which was at the end of April. I know the sale was extremely popular and they literally sold out of all the rare plants within, I think it was 4 minutes. So I was really lucky to get a couple of the plants that I wanted. The first plant I bought was the SYNGONIUM PANDA, which is really hard to find here in the UK. I absolutely love these splashes of lime green on the leaves, it's so pretty. And as you can see, the leaves can get quite large as well. I absolutely love Syngoniums. They're so easy to look after. They're not too fussy. You can keep them in bright light or medium light, even low light, and they seem to thrive. I do find them to be quite thirsty plants, and they will kind of droop a bit when they're thirsty, which is quite nice because you know that then they need a good drink. I can already see a new leaf starting to form on one of these stems, so that's quite exciting. At the moment, this plant's currently living in my office around, I'd say about 5 feet from a west-facing window, so it gets nice, bright, indirect light. I'm too scared to put it on the windowsill just in case it's too sunny for it, even though my other Syngonium actually lives on the window and it's grown about 3 times the size. But this one's a bit extra special, so I am not going to risk it just in case. I'm really happy to have this Syngonium in my collection. Does anybody else have one? I know they only had this one plant on the rare plant sale. I think I might need to get this little guy like a miniature moss pole or create something for him to climb up, because I've got a feeling he's going to get pretty big. And I love the fact that each leaf is completely unique in regards to the pattern. I think it's just such a beautiful plant. Okay, last but not least is a plant that I recently saw at the Botanical Gardens in Surrey, where I went for my birthday, and I was just absolutely lost for words when I saw this plant. It's the most stunning thing I've ever seen. It obviously went straight onto my wish list, but this plant is very hard to find here in the UK. So if you do see one, snap it up straight away, because you probably won't see another one for quite a while. I took a photo of the box when it arrived. I found it quite amusing because the box was almost the same size as me. So I decided to purchase the largest Philodendron melanochrysum that the Ginger Jungle had on their rare plant sale. She's called Big Betty, and you'll see why. Here she is. These philodendrons are also known as the black and gold philodendron, and I think that's because when the leaves are juvenile, they're more of a coppery colour, and then as they mature they turn into kind of a black-green colour. These leaves can get extremely large, but the plant needs to have the ideal conditions. So they need very high humidity, they like to keep warm, they don't like drafts or cold of any form. The best soil mix for this type of philodendron would be an aroid mix. So something like orchid bark, coir compost and perlite, even a bit of sphagnum moss maybe. She's actually been placed in a clear plastic pot to make sure that you don't overwater, because they can be quite prone to root rot, and we definitely don't want that. I still need to find a ceramic pot for her. So Big Betty is currently living in my office and gets bright indirect light, high humidity, and the temperature is usually between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do when she gets even taller. I might have to attach something on the wall for her to kind of climb up. I'd love to know who bought the other melanochrysums on the rare plant sale, because I think there was 3 of them for sale. Let me know in the comments if you bought one. Actually, let me know if you bought anything from the rare plant sale, because there was some absolutely amazing plants. I would have loved to have just bought one of every single plant on there, but obviously my budget didn't quite allow that. And somehow, even though I'm ticking off plants on my wish list every month, it seems to still be getting longer every month as well. I blame Instagram, because you just see so many amazing plants on Instagram. If you're already on Instagram, come over and follow me at Tropical Plant Addict, as I post pictures of my plants every few days. And feel free to tag me in your plant pictures. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my plant haul and that you've added a few plants to your wish lists. I'll keep you updated on how all the plants are doing. You'll probably see them in my upcoming plant tours. Take care everybody, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!